well, there's this trend going with the whole Black Lives Matters. This is definitely not my category of analyzation, because I have never thought it was worth even speaking of, because it is definitely a systematic issue. It's a worldly Babylonian narrative that is designed to engage citizens of the world, citizens who are committed to the continuation of planet Earth. It is for them to engage, to keep them distracted from the truth of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and his true creation, flat Earth, palace Earth, I like to refer to it as, and the carrying out of Matthew 24:14 as top priority. The whole Black Lives Matter is a weapon of Satan to distract would-be believers. Now, for those who reject Matthew 24:14 as a priority, it is mainly rejected by the Church of Babylon. The United States Church, in particular the Black Church, rejects the priority of Matthew 24:14. Therefore, they are expected to engage this whole language of going out, protesting, getting justice for this individual who was so brutally snuffed out, as a narrative has it, and to ignore the scriptures of the Lord God not being a respecter of person, the Lord God embracing all life, loving all life equally, is ignored by the Church of Babylon, whether it be black or white or whatever. The Church of Babylon, the worldly church that embraces planet Earth, that embraces the patriotism of the United States of America, is expected to engage this narrative of protest and to feel proud of, oh, look at everybody joining together and recognizing this poor black individual who was unjustly murdered by this police officer, and just go with it and again ignore the true scriptures of love and equality that the Bible definitely promotes, regardless of race and color. And the priority is to not protest for justice, because there's no justice in Satan's world. The prince of the power of the air runs this world, and in the Christian leadership of Babylon insist on this yin-yang existence, where they will force a duality upon the parishioners to accept the duality of the world system, to be okay with in making the world issues a priority to sustain this life down here on this miserable earth, as if the Lord would have us stay down here forever. And for his kingdom, according to Matthew 6:10, they don't want that to happen. They don't want him, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. They don't want a fulfillment of Matthew 24:14. They don't want the eradication of sin. They want this system to continue under the guise of justice for blacks. I speak as a black person, but who cares? I know so many personal so-called Christians who are engaging in this abomination, and they're calling it love, they're calling it justice, and they want nothing to do with true love. They reject the love of the truth. That's why they fall victim to the strong delusion that the Lord sent, because they choose to reject his truth on the most, starting with the most fundamental level. They reject his creation, number one. They insist on staying on a ball, and a total in-your-face insult to the master who designed this place for us. They insult his creation. They insulted his son by picking Barabbas over him, which was totally foretold. He knew that we would choose darkness. He chose Barabbas over life. So we choose this darkness of protest based on race, not based on love. This is not based in love. This is based on a political agenda. A political agenda to the modern Christian is their fuel for righteousness. Their fuel, the modern day Christian's fuel for righteousness, is a political agenda that they can latch onto to make themselves sound smarter. And they know they're not smart. They know they're not. They know they're too cowardly to embrace the love of the truth, to get into the truth movement of bringing Matthew 24:14 to fulfillment, that embraces all races, because there will always be murder and injustice, because Satan, the prince of the power of the air, runs this world. And these so-called ministers will preach that all day in Sunday school and in their churches. But Monday morning, they want you to go on to CNN or whatever news outlet, Fox, and get with the movement. We must recognize our black brothers. Well, I felt like this video was necessary. And for those the elect who remain, those who follow the truth, those who want all to embrace the Lord God, Jesus Christ, who are not distracted by these narrative presentations that commands those who are not rooted in truth. It commands you to wear a mask, to stay indoors, to do this, do that, gather in groups, protest, set fires. Let's come out of this deception, come out from among them, and embrace the truth. And let's bring an end to this madness. The gospel of the kingdom must be preached as a witness to all nations. Then shall the end come.